Good morning, friends. If you're like me, you're probably sitting there having your first cup of coffee and checking out some videos, and thought I'd do a quick update and let you know what's going on with this under 1,000 group build. Little Chevy 2 gasser here. So I'm still in mock-up stage, and I think we're always in mock-up stage until we actually got paint on it and doing that final glue. However, what I've done is I didn't like the ride height. I'm kind of dropping everything down just a little bit, but still gasser looking. And the outside of, going through, drilling the holes and getting everything squared away, I've taken this deal. I'll just tear it apart. Bam, just like that. And with the leaf springs, I've brought them all down to just one spring, and I'll get it all nice and even here. I got a flat spot that I've left right here, and then the rest of this is just one spring right there. So that, in essence, has dropped it down probably maybe an inch, 2 inches in the scale mode, which still keeps that tire pretty high in the front. It's a little extreme on this model the way it is from the box. And then I think I am gonna just cut out the back wheel well. You can kind of see the curve that I have, and I'm still debating on whether just cutting out the panel and raising it up so I don't lose this, but incorporating this all the way up to this body seam is gonna look kind of weird too, I think. So I may end up just going around and flaring the fender. I'm still debating that. Tear this part real quick. I've got the firewall. And as you can see, I've drilled everything out in the firewall. I still need to go through, fill my seams up all the way around here. But it shouldn't be too bad. I was thinking about, using sprue and well, I don't know, white spirits, and making kind of a paste that's of the same plastic. I've been saving all the little nubs from this stuff and make a goo and try to do it that way. I'm not sure yet. Or I just may use my red body filler. It works every time. But I thought that sprue glue thing might be a cool thing to try. I've never tried it before. I got my radiator cut out, and that fits in there all nice and tight. Also on this cross, part of the, whatever you want to call it, the radiator, the deal thingamajig, which is connected to this doohickey, which is all connected to this doohickey, and then I got to cut that thingamajig out there, cut it out all around here and down there, so I can have a tilt front end. So I want to retain this thingamajig doohickey here, fill in a little bit. Oop, let me see. Fill it in around here, just to give it that, like it's part of the metal front end. I don't want it to look like a fiberglass front end. I'd rather have it look like somebody did it in their garage and wants to go racing. So that's my next kind of major project with this. This is all good to go. Drilled some holes in the front. Lighter's better, of course. Got my motor mount set up, and so when I glue this in, there's going to be a seam right along here and here that I'm going to have to fill in. And as you can see, it's still not the greatest fit. It is straight and square, but just do what we do when we glue it, and I'll just fill it in, make it all nice and pretty. And I think that's about it on this. A little comment also on the tools that I always have, regarding Mark Baston's video that he had on the tools that he uses that are always on his bench. Of course, there's tweezers and knives I love drills. These pin vices are the most handy thing I think ever. It's something I have on my bench that's just always been there, and they're really not very expensive. You can get them on Amazon pretty cheap. Or these 1, 2, 3 blocks. And my big brother's a machinist, so I knew about these a long time ago, and I've had these forever. But they are square and true. They're heavy. You can make everything square and straight on a flat surface. So I use them for mock-up. I use them for when I'm filing. If I need to file something perfectly flat, I can always hold my file up to the edge and know that that's perfectly flat, squared up, and then just lightly until I can get a nice, perfect, even spot or whatever I'm working on. There's always that, and then there's always files. And I don't know if you guys can see that. They're Swiss-made Gordon Valori files. These are jeweler's files, and they're made for filing precious metals and stuff. They are dead flat. They're dead square. I got one with a blind edge on it here, and then the other edge has file. I have one of these, and they're least expensive jeweler file set, needle file set. These are awesome. They cut like butter. Highly recommend them. They're not the cheapest, but it's well worth the money because of the way they file and how perfectly they go. And there's always the trusty ruler. So I work mostly in 1/25th, so that's standard measurement. It's got a great straight edge. But I've also got one that's in millimeters, and that's kind of your 1/24 scale stuff. I think is all based off of millimeters. I'm not positive on it. That's something I've looked into a whole lot. It just seems to work out a lot better that way. And outside of that, that's kind of the tools I use. Yeah, I got all the same glues everybody else uses. Nothing really fantastic in that. Always have a scriber, because if you tear something apart and then you get it together and you're mocking it up and then you want to scribe it, and always got to have one of those around. And that's about it. But anyways, guys, this is my update. I hope everyone has a blessed weekend. Remember what the weekend's about, and y'all take care of yourself. Be kind to each other. Blessed be, friends.